So I had a guy call me up and he was really interested in training jiu-jitsu. As you know, I teach jiu-jitsu here. I've been teaching jiu-jitsu for a long time. But one of the things that struck me really in the conversation was the guy was quite obsessed with how long it would take him to get a certain rank. Now, the thing with that is that if you are externally, or we say extrinsically motivated, you're missing the whole purpose of why you're actually wanting to train. In other words, in this case, you're actually driven by the fact that what you actually want to do is achieve a certain rank, say a black belt or blue belt or whatever belt you want to achieve. But the reality of training is that it gets tough, it gets hard. And when it gets tough and it gets hard, you need something that's going to drive you through that process. You need something from within you. And that's what I mean when I say the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So to finish the story, what happened with the guy in particular was that he came along, did a trial class, and the interesting thing was, even in the trial class, through the conversation, it came out that he was more interested in not what we were doing and how we were training and how the team worked and the benefits of learning a martial art, in this case jiu-jitsu. What he was more intrigued was how long it would take him to get a certain rank. In this case, it was a blue belt. So I said to the guy, look, you know, if at this stage you're worried about it, when you start having hard rolls, you're actually going to start to have a hard time. It's going to actually demotivate you. So really at this point, you really want to just see if you like it, if you like training, if you like the vibe, if you like the team, even if you like me. Why wouldn't someone like me? But anyway, the point was that, you know, I was trying to get across that you shouldn't be driven from day one by these external goals. Because if you are, and I'm going to keep repeating myself, when the going gets tough and when any type of martial art training, and even in life in general, the going will get tough, and what you've got to do is be able to motivate yourself through that, and it has to come literally from within you. So as I thought, he trained, and you know, the curious thing with some people is they have a nature towards how should I put it, self-fulfilling prophecies. If they think it's going to be bad, or they think it's going to be hard, or they talk themselves out of it, it will be hard, it will be bad, and they won't be able to do it. So I noticed straight away just there was a sort of deficit in the way that the person was behaving. You know, he wasn't keen on doing certain things, he didn't really want to work so hard, he didn't really appreciate that at the end of the day it was the effort that you put into it. It wasn't really the fact that you just had to turn up. And this is the thing about training martial arts. You actually have to put some effort into what you do to achieve something, to extract something out. It's what you put into the martial art that counts, not what you take out of it. And again, like anything in life, is exactly the same. Whatever you put into it, you'll get out. So in this case, the guy put very little into it, and as I thought, over a period of time, in fact less than 4 weeks, hit a few hurdles, and the natural hurdles are adversity, and I speak about this quite often in our training, or in our training videos. You know, you're going to meet hurdles, you're going to meet adversity, and then when you do that, it's up to you to work through it. So he did, and in that process, guess what? He gave up. Now, I'm not discussing this person in general, but what I want to talk about is the process of training and the process of motivation. Because I've been doing this for a very long time, and one of the things I will say to you is that you have to have this ability to be able to motivate yourself through the hard times. So how do you do it? Goal setting is probably the best way that you can achieve that. Now, goal setting is a simple process. What you should do when you start a martial art, and if you do, and there is, and let's not get this wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't start a martial art and have this idea that you want to achieve a black belt, a blue belt, or whatever. You should have small attainable goals. But to start and think, I want to be able to do this, or I want to be able to do that, is unrealistic from day one. What you should do, and this is what my whole point of the video is to have small achievable goals that get you through the daily grind of training. In fact, the monthly or yearly grind. Because let's face it, you're not going to be great overnight, but if you do this over a period of time, you will actually find, if you take small steps, one step in front of the other, you'll make some improvement, you'll make some achievement, and then in that case you'll get what you want. You'll achieve what you want, you'll achieve what you set out for. So small achievable goals, what are they? Well, essentially in your training, and this is really what we're looking at, is that you should have a goal that's achievable. So, first one, maybe turn up to training on a regular basis. Try to turn up, try to take part of the group. even on the bad days where maybe on the bad day that you don't want to train. We all have those days. I have those days. Everybody has those days. Look, I'm tired. I don't want to train. I'd rather sit at home. I'd rather lie on a couch. I'd rather read a book. I'd rather do something else. I'd rather surf YouTube and just look at jiu-jitsu videos or whatever, martial art videos or anything. The point is, we all have those, and I often refer to it in our videos as monkey chatter in our brain. And when I'm faced with that, I have to say, okay, I'm going to push through that. I'm going to turn up. So I make it a habit. I make training a habit, and that is one of my first goals. Make training a habit, make it achievable, and that is very, very achievable. Even on bad days, I push myself to train. Another one is that you have a technical goal. So what you try to do is you try to achieve, and you shouldn't have a time limit for this. What you should do is look at it from a perspective of, over a period of time, I want to be able to, I don't know, pass the guard efficiently, play the guard efficiently. If you're in a striking art, maybe put 2 or 3 strikes together well without thinking about it. You know, whatever it is, whatever martial art you do, you try to think of a small achievable goal that's not unrealistic, and it's not necessarily tied to a rank, a belt or whatever. It's actually tied to an activity. And you achieve these goals, you set another goal, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. But the first and the most important thing is that you have to have the habit. You have to have the habit to train, and that's where you have to achieve the first one, which is basically just get on with it. Just train through the good days, the bad days, the rain days, the snow days, the tired days. Doesn't matter what it is, but don't make excuses. Because as soon as you start talking to yourself, you create this self-doubt. If you say, yeah, I can train tomorrow, I'm tired today, I'll go in tomorrow, then tomorrow comes, you'll do the same thing again. I'm tired tomorrow, I'll come in the next day, then you do the same thing again. So you've got to make it a habit. You've got to make it a point where you feel bad if you don't train. Because I know for a fact I'm injured, I've been injured for a while, and I'm really struggling at the moment because I don't have my training, I don't have my daily routine. And because of that, I've broken my habit, and therefore it's that pleasure-pain concept again. It's make it painful basically not to train. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because human beings, they're motivated by achieving pleasure. They're motivated by pleasure. So in that sense, if you make it a pleasure to train, that's great. If you make it a pain not to train, then that's also great. Because what that will do on the hard days, you'll feel like, yeah, I should really be training, or you'll feel, I don't know, I don't want to say you'll feel bad, because it's not also a good thing to go to the other extreme and start to suffer anxiety because you're not training, but you should feel like, yeah, I should have really trained today, and you should feel like you want to turn up and train. So the secret of success, how do you last the longevity of training? Well, as I said, the first and the most important thing is to create goals. Don't go into it with an extrinsic motivated state of mind where you look at it and you say, how long is it going to take me to achieve a black belt? How long is it going to take me to achieve a blue belt? How long is it going to achieve me to get this rank or what have you? Because once you do that, what will happen is you'll be so focused on those times that when it really, really gets hard, and this is what will happen, because you'll have mundanity, you'll have boredom, you'll have times where you'll go in, you'll train and nothing works for you. When you hit those moments, when you're externally motivated, you'll just lose all the plot for training and you won't achieve the success. Now these are ideas that you can apply in everyday life. It doesn't just have to be in a martial arts studio, in a boxing gym or an MMA place. It doesn't have to be related to any environment. It just has to be that you are driven from inside. Something inside you drives you to train. So these are things I'm going to talk about separately, in addition to some of our other videos on our channel. I wanted to expand the content a little bit more, so hopefully some of you guys will like these types of videos. If you've got any ideas, if you think there's ideas or anything you want me to help you with, feel free, leave them in the comments. I'll be quite happy to chat about it, or contact me personally if you feel you need any personal training or any mentoring or anything that you're interested that relates to the psychology of training, the psychology of fighting, and how you motivate yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my rambles. Speak soon.